Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. I'm super excited about the situation because I want to go ahead and talk about Janet Jackson, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. She is, on tour. She's been on tour for 40 years at this particular point in time. She did the, I think she's finishing out, the Together Again tour. I went to the first leg when she came to Atlanta. It was Taylor Swift one night at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then it was the Janet Jackson at the State Farm Arena on the same night. So it was Janet Jackson versus Taylor Swift. You had the Janet Jackson fans in the street. You had the Taylor fans in the street. And I was living for the situation. Me and my two girlfriends, we went to go see Janet Jackson. I love Janet Jackson. I think she's a legendary. I think she's iconic. I think Janet Jackson is a Jackson. But just because you're a Jackson doesn't mean you can't be criticized for the dumb narrative that you are trying to push, especially when your name is Jackson. How are you talking about you heard that she wasn't black when you got rid of your black nose? And I don't care what y'all say, okay? Because yes, I'm a Janet fan. I love Discipline. I love The Velvet Rope. I love Demita Joe. Love Sis Down. I like Together Again. I like Can't Be Good. I like Feedback. All For You. I like what's that song? Okay? I like all of them. But what you not finna do, or what you did apparently, was try to peddle this false rumor. And it's 1, false, 2, it's damaging, 3, Trump and them are trying to use this, oh, well, she wasn't black yesterday, but now she's black today to win some black votes. It's damaging. It's damaging. It's damaging. Why would you do an interview talking about some, well, I heard she black. I mean, I haven't read the news in a few days, but that's what they said, that she's white and Indian. Girl, really? I heard she was Indian. I heard she was this. Aren't you the same one that was on Rhythm Nation teaching us about, spreading this message about being colorblind? And all of a sudden, well, I hear she's not black. I hear she's Indian and white. I haven't seen the news in a couple of days. What happened to the unity and the colorblind message of Rhythm Nation? I'm a bit confused at the situation right now. Y'all love defending the Jacksons, and listen, rest in peace to was it Tito? Rest in peace. My condolences. But these people are not beyond criticism. The Jacksons are not gods. The Jacksons, when they say and do stupid shit, can be criticized just like everybody else. Because Janet Jackson, that was stupid. That was real stupid and silly of you. But listen, I do have a clip from The View, and it seems as though the girlies are saying that Whoopi done defended Janet Jackson, child. Okay.
Superstar Janet Jackson just did a wide-ranging interview with British newspaper The Guardian, but most of the focus is on when she was asked her thoughts on VP Kamala Harris possibly becoming the first black female president. She said, she answered by saying that she had heard that Harris's father was white, which we all know is false. And a staffer claims that he was fired for issuing an apology in her name and that her team certified he wasn't authorized to speak on her behalf. Now, Jackson has not...
So, Janet, you're doubling down on it. This person apologized on your behalf. You fired the person, then came out and put out another statement talking about it was unauthorized and he got fired. So you doubled down on it when you fired him. You tripled down on it when you came out with a second statement saying that he was fired. Y'all, this is the same woman that didn't know what hot Cheetos was. Girl, go outside, touch grass, breathe some fresh air. Cause what? You can go to YouTube, look up old interviews about Kamala Harris. She talks about her time being at HBCU. She talks about her time being in AKA. She talks about, standing up for the rights of black people. Where are you getting this information from? Where did you get this? Who did you hear that from? What TV station are you watching, sis?
To request for comment, but no matter how you feel about celebs speaking out politically, is it okay for somebody to say, I don't know, I made a mistake?
Well, she hasn't said that she made a mistake. We don't know what she said because it's been one thing and another. Look, I think Janet Jackson,
Clock it. Okay, thank you, Anna. Clock it.
like every other American, whether you're a celebrity or not, has a right to endorse, support, or not support whomever they want. So she's got every right to not like Kamala Harris if she doesn't want to.
But that's not what she said.
What she doesn't know, what she did was spread misinformation.
Boom.
And I think it's very irresponsible when you have a platform the way Janet Jackson does to use that platform carelessly to spread misinformation based on a racist allegation by Donald Trump. Right? It was Donald Trump who tried to say Kamala Harris just turned black. So let's just go through the 101. Kamala Harris is the daughter of 2 immigrants. Her mother is South Asian from India. Her father is black from Jamaica. Here is a picture for all of you who need, or for Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, here's the damn picture.
I feel like a picture of Kamala also would have done, Kamala Harris would have done the trick. I thought.
Right. It takes 2 seconds to Google a picture of her mother and her father. But like, girl, the willful ignorance, I just cannot.
Less from the perspective of Janet Jackson, who's an icon, and I refuse to say anything bad about, live in information silos. This is so different than how the media was even 10 years ago, where people largely got their news and their information from legacy media, where there was a level of objectivity and a fact-checking involved. So if you perhaps get, and I'm just saying this for an example, get all your news on Facebook, and you lean right of center, that algorithm is monetized and going to tee up information that reinforces your own beliefs. If you're a Trump supporter online, you very likely won't encounter ever some of the worst things that he has said. The same does go for the left. I don't even know the partisan breakdown of what happened here, but my guess is she's not looking at great sources of media. And I say all this because it's why I try to not have judgment with Trump voters. Instead, I try to engage them, because I find people who are highly educated, highly successful, that support him, but they often don't know of some of the biggest scandals or the worst things that he's said about people.
Which makes your education null and void. It makes your education null and void. It makes, I don't give a damn how educated you are. You're so educated, but you're too smart to do a quick search where there are reputable sources that will tell you who Kamala Harris is and who she's been. Come on now.
Or things that he's done. And I think if you take the judgment out and just kind of get back to facts and then trying to persuade people, it helps.
Well, this is the sorry, Sunny. This is the number one most severe warning in the short term we have globally. Misinformation and disinformation. The World Economic Forum said this is our greatest risk in the next few years, and it's not just this country, it's everywhere. And a few reasons. You mentioned that, you know, you've got the algorithm, but you also have internal people like, you know, Donald Trump, who ironically created or coined the term fake news, willingly and on the daily, it seems, perpetuating false stories on purpose. But then you also have foreign adversaries. We recently learned of Russia paying millions of dollars to content creators to keep them doing this. So the big message here is going back to like journalism 101 or just education 101, which is you never single source a story. When you're looking anywhere in journalism, we're always taught you have to back it up. In media, for as much flack as media gets for being leaning, we can get fired or in trouble for not being able to source where we got our story. But the other part of this story that bothers me is the whole identity issue. The fastest growing group in this country is multiracial individuals, not bi, multiracial individuals. So asking people, what are you? My biracial friends always struggled with they weren't white enough or they weren't black enough, and they were always left in the middle. The middle is where the world is headed. And so we need to be more open about people's identities and what they identify as and have some grace.
Well, I do think you get to identify yourself, and being one of the multiracial people here at the table, I will say this. I would handle this the way Kamala Harris has, and that is to give it no air. I think Kamala is breaking barriers just by being in the room, regardless of whether Janet Jackson thinks she's black or white or Indian. The very fact that she is in the room deconstructs, in my view, the alleged societal norms that we've seen in the nearly 250 years of this country of what a presidential candidate looks like. And so I think that that is what matters most. And I also think that when you are biracial or multiracial, you do get to identify yourself in any way in which you choose to identify yourself. Now, she has identified herself as a Black woman. She has also said that her mother is Asian. She didn't just become Black. And so it's unfortunate that Janet Jackson, an icon, admittedly said, I don't know, I haven't been reading the news these past few days. So I don't know if it comes from misinformation. I don't know if it...
So why would you say anything? Why would you say anything? Why would you do that? Anyways, y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything in the comments down below. I know we're going to have some Jackson stans, Miss Jackson stans in the comments. Listen, I'm a huge fan, but again, I have a very short fuse. When it comes to this election, I have a very short fuse when it comes to this misinformation. Let me know how y'all feel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day. Bye.